Welcome back to an update with the Modern Mountain Man Max. We've been on a tree slaughtering mission. We decided to clear a whole lot more trees so that we actually might have a little area upper, behind the house. I guess it'd be the front of the house actually. That'll be maybe landscaped, and our greenhouse is going to be over there, and we can have something fenced for the dogs to run around up here. And this is pretty level ground up here, and this is the spine of the mountain that way, or of the hill. And then we're going to use this slope here to put our house, so we have a daylight basement. But we've been taking down a lot of trees, so as you can see, this has opened up significantly. And we're going to take out the pines, all the pines you see that way, the super tall ones. Well, actually anything's a pine, so that we have a window through with just hardwoods left behind for the sun to come through. And I think we'll actually be able to have from our second story a view of that's the Blue Ridge over that direction. So you can kind of see this is making a nice mouth. It opens up on the way up the hill here. So got my buddy's old ancient excavator known as Old Blue, squirting oil and blowing smoke, and that thing's older than a dinosaur, but it's been taking down huge trees, huge monster trees. Well, I got plenty of rocks if I want to decorate with rocks. So here's an example. There's Bad Kitty. She's been working so hard. There's a stump almost as big as a bobcat. But the real king of the hill down there is that one. That thing down there. Hang on. That's actually as big or bigger than my bobcat. That was a pine. Giant one. That's actually the trunk of it right there. That thing is a monster. Just that one piece the bobcat could barely lift. My water line, they came and welded up my water line. It's a special process where they fuse. They heat the plastic, push it together, and it like fusion welds. So I've got this actually all wrapped up because we're taking out some more trees. But I'll go down here by one of these ball valves and show you what it looks like. They bring a special machine. Two guys work together. One guy could do it. It's just easier with two because you have to wrestle these big hoses, and they're not really very accommodating. But so these ball valves are, there you go. Sorry, I'm zoomed in. These ball valves, this is a 2-inch ball valve. These are unobtainium right now. I only found one company in the United States that had them. They're $150 a piece. I had to buy 6 of them. So anyway, here's the weld. Each side gets squared up in a special fixture, and then it gets heated by a dual-sided iron, and then they cam it, a little thing, lever cams over, and it squishes them together. And those 2 rings roll up, and that's got to be nice uniform rings around both sides. And if it does, then that weld is actually stronger than the pipe itself. So that was 3,300 feet of water line. 3,300 feet. That was a hell of a project. But the guys that did the fusion welding, you have to pay them a daily rate. The company they work for, it's $750, whether they do one weld or 50. So that was another reason. Every 500 feet, I decided to put a ball valve just in case there's ever trouble with the line anywhere. It'd be easier to diagnose the failure in the line, or where maybe it got damaged or something. So this is really opening up. The guys are coming, the road crew's coming tomorrow, and they're going full tilt on the road. I've got the first 2,000 feet of the water line trenched and buried up to the electric transformer where we're going to tie on to at a neighbor's house. And then after that, there's a guy, luckily there's a guy who's an inspector for the electrical company for the buried conduit lines, and he does side jobs on the weekend digging trenches, so he can put my conduit in, bury it, and inspect it himself. So I saw in the carrier and inspect it himself. So that's the program. Temperature's dropping a little. It's still not a unpleasant. Oops, sorry. My hand over the lens. We'll ride along here. Directly into some pile of rocks. It's kind of a pink sunset. Man, this is still quite rough, but I'm working on it. You know, you couldn't believe how big these trees were and how much debris was down. So that's what I did basically all day today. For most of an 8-hour day we were just clearing trees. Tammy and I marked a bunch of them this morning. She helped me for a little while and she had to get back to Atlanta, so she was here till lunch, and then I just kept going. And my neighbor Jim from across the street, who runs that excavator, he came and knocked down trees for me and knocked them down, and I sawed them up and moved them away with the Bobcat. So a very productive day. You can see my water line there on the left. It goes forever. 2/3 of a mile. So hang on, I'm gonna pull by here, slam the door on my little shed, and then we'll drive down the road there and look at how it's going. Slam the door on my little shed. Hammer on the ground. Sorry, I gotta hitch up this little trailer while we're talking. It's my little transport trailer. Helps because I got the Bobcat will run 20 gallons of fuel, so 4 jugs, which is heavy. So this wagon helps with that. And then we have trash and such. There's a oak stump old Jim took out. That thing was 100 foot tall. Look at that sucker. Dumperenes. Big stump, 5 feet high. I'm gonna throw my water line back in the road here. Ugh. So there's a guy coming to inspect. We're gonna have a transformer right here. This is where my flag stick of driveway ends, and then this is where my main rectangle of land starts and goes out that way. So we're gonna put it just inside there. All right, here we go. So this doesn't look much different here. The road actually has looked better in the past, but it's gotten wrecked up from me. I'll show you. I knocked down all that topsoil we had piled in between me and the neighbor. I smoothed it, basically. Then I ran the trencher through, 48-inch trenching attachment. That saved me a lot of money. It's $2 a foot for trenching. That's $4,000 up to the street. I rented the attachment for $155 and did it myself. Took a day and day and a half actually. Pretty long, hard day and a half. So see, you can kind of see it's starting to get everything smoothed out here between me and the neighbor. I'm actually going to take the gravel drive. Those stakes are my ball valves. You know, with one every 500 feet. So this island needs to be smoothed and dressed and everything, but I just got it knocked down to cover up the water line. So that was important. So I'm looking forward to a road crew getting some work done this week. We haven't had dry enough weather for those guys to work, and now it's finally dried up enough for them to get back on the job. So this is a good week. Hopefully they'll get maybe 3 days or 4 days in on the road, which makes me happy. So some real progress. We might even have some gravel this week. You can imagine that. They're going to get to my shed first, get that much done, so then there's a place for trucks to drive in forward. Right now they're backing down almost half a mile. So here we go. That's the update. Of course, I cut the cable again. Unbeknownst to me, in the last week, AT&T came and buried a conduit somehow underground using horizontal drilling. And I came right here, started my thing, my water meter's going here, and the first thing I did was cut the new conduit for the fiber optic. So that's been a total shit show with AT&T. It's been an absolute nightmare. My neighbor's new line is over there at that box, and it goes down that way. So as far as I knew, nothing had changed, but yes, it did change in 1 week while I was gone. Nobody told me. So we've had this place marked for utilities and such 2 different times, and there's obviously was never a line here, so that's new. So they got a temporary line here that's going to be destroyed, I'm sure, in the morning when the dump trucks start going. So anyway, that's my update. Thanks for watching, and I got to get my UTV out of the road here, get the Ranger out of the road. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll talk to you soon.